Welcome to Team xAPI and LiveCode, creating an LRP with LiveCode. Note that an LRP is a learning record provider that can send an xAPI statement to a learning record store. First, we should mention the 7 team members who worked on the project in many ways. Just a few of those are learning LiveCode, contributing their code, testing applications, sharing presentation knowledge, and active participation in Zoom meetings. On this slide, you can see their names. They will also be helping with the presentation today, answering questions in chat and demoing as we go. Next, a bit about LiveCode. It's both an open source and commercial development environment. It's a GUI-based development environment with an English-like scripting language that integrates the language with the user interface. Development involves toggling between run and edit modes. There's no compile time. It uses cross-platform code for applications that can be published in iOS, Android, for Macintosh, Windows, Linux, and even web or HTML formats. We've produced these projects so that you don't need to start from a blank page. Your process would be to download LiveCode, pull our xAPI examples from GitHub, revise the code with your LRS credentials. If you don't have an LRS account already, xapi.com's adopter page gives you a list of LRSs. Most of them have a free account option for you to get started testing. Next, you would need to test the LRP application in LiveCode. You can see your statements in the LRS and then modify with your content. Modify the LiveCode project with your content. We're going to walk through each of these steps as we go on. We have a series of demos that are focused on the creation of the learning record provider and document the progress we were able to make in an agile development effort where we had individuals and small groups working in parallel on the different features sets of the project. The different contributions and of some of the team members are listed here. So Joan's demo shows us the initial LRP created by Joan along with the final user interface on this slide. This is the first LiveCode project that successfully sends an xAPI statement just using xtalk, the LiveCode scripting language. Joan's demo will walk us through the project interface, how it works, and some of the code. Now we'll hand things over to Joan.
LiveCode team because I wanted to create a mobile version of the xAPI reporter. It's a tool that runs like an extension in your web browser. When you visit a web page, you can rate that page and the reporter will save your rating to an LRS. This screenshot shows that I gave my cohort experience a rating of 5 out of 5, and that rating is now stored in my LRS. So my plan was to learn LiveCode and recreate the xAPI reporter as a mobile app. Well, that was the plan, but that's not what happened. Instead, I made this app. It's not the reporter, but it has basic functionality for creating the real reporter or any other learning record provider. Here's how it works. If you enter an LRS endpoint, the LRS API credentials, the user and password, and an xAPI statement, the app can send the statement to the LRS if the app is online, save statements locally to a file for instances when the app is offline, send statements stored in the local file to an LRS when the app is back online. Now that I've described what the app does, I'll show a little bit of the code. This is the app populated with an xAPI statement and information about the LRS. This is the code that sends the xAPI statement to the LRS. I'll explain how it works. When the user clicks the Post to LRS button and releases the mouse, the on-mouse-up handler is called. There are 3 parts to the code. First, we got the LRS information and the xAPI statement from the text fields and store them in local variables. Next, we use those variables to set the HTTP headers and post the xAPI statement to the LRS. We encrypt the API user and password. We set the content type to JSON, and we set the xAPI version number. After setting the headers, we tell LiveCode to post the statement to a URL, which is our LRS endpoint. Finally, we put the results from the post command in the results field of the app. This lets us know whether the xAPI statement was posted successfully or if there was an error. Quick demo of the app. I've set the endpoint to a grass blade LRS. Now I'll open the web page so we can see the xAPI statements after they are posted in the LRS. So first, let's post or send this statement directly to the LRS. According to our results section, the statement was sent successfully, and when we look at the LRS, I'll refresh the page. We'll see that Dwight Schrute experienced the live code demo. Now, to demonstrate saving to and posting from a local file, I'll save the current statement and then edit it to change the actor to Stanley Hudson. Stanley works in sales, so we'll update the email address to sales@Dunder-Mifflin, and then we'll save this statement to the file. And now we should have two statements to post to the LRS. So I'll post from file. There's one statement posted, the second statement posted, and if I refresh the LRS page, we'll see Stanley and Dwight Schrute both experienced the live code demo. And that's it.
Thank you, Joan. Joan's xAPI reporter stack or live code project was elaborated by creating a card for each of the verbs listed here. It's saved and published as xAPI reporter. The cards were elaborated with navigation, selected, and grouping of the objects within live code allowed us to mark them as a background object, which is a concept that lets grouped objects like fields, buttons, and other user interface objects appear on multiple cards while allowing unique data to be stored in each instance of the object of the card. Now, Kevin's going to do a demo of the version 209 app and show us how we can send a statement from this version of the app.
All right, there it is.
There we go. So yeah, click on some of those buttons, see if you can move around. You're on initialized.
All right.
You just send a statement. That's awesome.
Wait. Interactive.
So on the settings tab, you can set your LRS endpoint, your username, your password. There's also a dummy statement you can tap. Let's talk about this project. So this project elaborates on the verbs in the video profile from the ADL. And the idea is, as we're working through this, we can look at the code.
Is it coming through?
Yeah. Oh, we have to need to check the.
Yes. And then the rest of the verbs, here we're on interacted, is got sample code in the field, and then you can post that and get a result. But you can also go in and edit that, and we'll show that in a moment.
Do you want me to hit anything else there? Have we got them all? Pause.
As we jump into Seeked, we're going to see another sample xAPI statement. We can click the post button, send that, and in the results field, we get status of success, and the response is actually the ID that the LRS assigns to that statement it's just received.
you want me to turn the screen back to you?
Yeah, I'll take a look at Storm Cloud and see what we see here.
Okay.
Before we started, that had the LRS data up here. So before you started, 2021, 4/19 was the last date I had submitted. I just opened this tab, and this is your data.
All right.
So 4/21 is what you just sent from that standalone.
Cool.
You could edit the email and the name of the person, so
All
it's
right.
you.
And then put my name here and see what happens.
Yep.
And then post it.
Yep.
Okay, it works, so it should
looks like
pop
it
up
worked.
over there.
So are you seeing my
I see it.
okay, good. Let me hit refresh. Kevin.
There it is.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Next up is Martin. Martin's project, the Grassblade xAPI LRS connection, version 4. Martin shared a stack that creates an xAPI statement as the user interacts with a video and posts them to an LRS. He has been working on the stack to create two types of time values needed in xAPI statements, and the slide shows the progression of the user interface. Now Martin will walk us through his project.
Okay, so this is a demonstration of using a live code library that we created to send commands using the video profile. So we have information for the actor, so we set that, and then we open the video player, give a name to the video, and then open that video, and that will all go into the object information. And so then we see that we got the initialized command sent and received. So then we'll just show some other commands. Played, paused, and then seeked will be next. And then I'm just going to play till the very end of the video.
Where the technology goes from here. Thank you so much.
So then you get completed, and then once you close the video, then terminated is sent. Just to show that those commands have been sent, I'm going here and just reload this. And so there's the commands: initialized, played, paused, seeked, played, completed, and initialized. So it's a work in progress. Don't have the extensions or context or results yet added to it, but have the basic commands.
Next up we have Peter. Peter's demo project, LiveCode Video Project, demonstrates a way for LiveCode Video Player to send a cue, known as a callback to LiveCode when the video file is played past a certain time. Now we'll hand it over to Peter.
When working with video in an educational product, you might want to use the time capabilities of video or audio to trigger events. Here I have a video player that, when playing, triggers the showing of some captions in a field. This technique could also be used for other purposes, such as sending a message to the LRS when the user has played the video to specific timings of the video, or maybe to do some sort of animation based on the current time of the player. Now, a player in LiveCode can play both video and audio files. So what's going on here? You can see this field at the bottom right containing lines with a timing number and some caption text. So when a timing number is reached, the text is placed into the caption field under the video. 15:57 puts Aaron looks up. So how does this happen? Well, we set the video player to contain what are called callbacks, a series of timings and a message to be sent from the player to the program. So at 15:57 in the video, do caption 1, a message is sent to the script of the program. The script receives that message and displays line 1 of the data, in this case, the caption text, into the field. You can refer to the script of this card where I've put comments that explain what's going on and how to use this in your own project. This technique can be used in live code for apps deployed to desktop, Mac and Windows, as well as iOS and Android.
Thank you, Peter. Next up is Andrew's demo, Theory for Keith. This example provided by Andrew Bell demonstrates setting the browser's contents to a web page contained in a field within live code. This means that content can be loaded externally, generated via scripting, or loaded then modified via scripting. This example shown on the screen. Unfortunately, Andrew may not be here today for the presentation of the demo. We have another slide that shows another project that Andrew put together for us. This is a simple stack that will load all of the files in the same folder as the stack itself. The code responds to the user clicking load at the bottom to list the files found in the same folder as the live code project. It then builds a clickable list in the text field to the left of the browser from the file names. Since live code knows the path and the file name, Andrew has created scripting in the field object that reacts to the user's click by sending the path and file name as source information to the browser object, shown here with the grayed out with the world. When this is done, a response to the user clicking in the field on the left, the browser responds by displaying the file found in the frame of the browser. This works with graphics or still images as well as movie files and PDFs. Next up, we want to talk about some of the results of the Spring xAPI cohort. xAPI Cohort's YouTube channel features 20 videos that were published in the Spring 2021 xAPI Cohort. This video will make 21. Also, xAPI Cohort in Live Code GitHub repository features 8 different projects published in the Spring 2021 xAPI Cohort. We will be adding links within the README files to each of these to the respective video of the demo as we presented it here today. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you watching. Please put in questions in the chat,